What was it that made you think this is of the Lord versus this is the enemy, like shutting a door? Because I know sometimes that's hard too. Like you're running into obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. Like, I thought this is what we're supposed to be doing. Like, do we keep pressing and keep getting rejected, or do we?
I think being of the Lord came in the beginning, and then obstacles came the rest of the way, which you know is going to happen anytime you're on the right path. The enemy's going to try to knock you off it.
This is the Elevation Room, a space where we unpack life's hardest moments and the impact that they have on our faith, family, and fulfillment. I'm your host, Dustin Lale, and each episode we share real stories of resilience and breakthrough to inspire you to keep moving forward, rooted in your purpose, living on purpose, and walking with purpose. This journey we call life is not meant to be done alone. So click subscribe or the follow button now, settle in, and join us as we go into the Elevation Room. Welcome back to the Elevation Room. Today we have my beautiful wife, Bethany. We've got James and Tiffany Bear. Y'all say hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
And our room looks a little bit different today because the podcast studio is not set up for 4 people. So this is our first 4-person episode. So congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. If y'all would like, please give an introduction of yourselves for our vast audience of listeners.
My name is James Bear, and I'm a project manager at Bluefin, and I live in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana.
And I'm his wife, Tiffany Bear, and I own Le Coiffeur Salon in Breaux Bridge.
Nice. Le Coiffeur,
Yes.
which we saw a lot when we were in France. We were pointed out everywhere. So that was a cool moment. So how long have y'all been married?
14 years.
Almost in October.
Almost in
all right.
October.
Way to go, James.
I like the way
Heck
James
yeah.
looked and he's like, confirmation?
Yes, that is awesome. Well, we're excited to have y'all today.
We're
We've
excited to be here.
had quite a few board game nights together.
Yes.
Had a lot of fun. We talked about all getting together and having a conversation about some of y'all's life's experiences and just having a good time. Y'all ready?
Here we are. Let's
ready.
go.
Woohoo.
So I always like to get started with everyone's life was perfect. There's no challenges. And, you know, by now on episode 7, we just know that's not the case. So I'd love to open it up to y'all and just share with me. Y'all been married 14 years. Y'all are been on this journey together. I know, James, you've worked offshore. You've worked out of state. Tiffany, starting a salon from the ground up. It's not easy work. So I'd love to understand a moment, a season that was really challenging for y'all that y'all have learned through.
Where should we start?
Building the salon, I guess, would be a good one, because there was a lot of challenges we faced with that. And
For sure.
So what, in building the salon, what season of life were y'all in? How long were y'all married? What did your work look like at the time, James? Where were you coming out of, Tiffany?
So I had been at a large salon for several years and unhappy there for a while. Kind of always had my eye on the ball of getting out. Didn't know what that would look like. We ultimately found a piece of property in 2020 during the pandemic.
Okay.
Not ideal time to move or shake or do anything. More like hunker down and wait for it to end. But that's when God moved. And so
piece of property I didn't like.
Really?
Just for
and
the record.
I fell in love with.
How? Why didn't you like it?
Several reasons. It's very small, and the side of town it's on, I didn't think was a very good area for it, really.
Yeah.
You know, and my vision of it wouldn't have been there.
Yeah. So did you find the piece of property and bring it to him, or did y'all kind of find it together and then had to work through that?
I was just on a drive board during COVID, and we had seen it for sale the December before, and it kind of appealed to both of us. It's on a main highway, and it had good visibility, but we didn't really have a plan for how to make money with it. And there was an old building on it that would have needed a lot of work to tear down. Well, the building was now gone, and it was for sale, and it occurred to me during COVID exactly how much I did not want to go back to work at the big salon. And so God was like, it just dropped like a bowling ball. And I could see it all, like exactly the way it is today. I could just see it. And I was like, that's that. And I went home and I was like, hey, babe, you know that piece of property? I'm going to have a salon there.
That you don't like.
And it was just one of those things where I feel like we talk about decisions, but at the same time, when God moves, it's like we both just trust. If the other person says it, like we trust it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What was your thoughts when she first brought that to you?
That's it. Support her in it, because she was very steadfast in wanting it and thinking that's where she needed to be. So
Yeah. Now, were you shut down during COVID for the previous company? So you didn't have any work at all at the time?
No,
And
we
what
didn't.
about you, James? Were you still working?
Yep, and really doing better than ever, probably. Really busy and very well at that time.
So then what happened then once y'all decided to buy it?
Well, the seller was particularly interesting, and James actually, I think, outsmarted him and made it happen.
I wouldn't say that.
Good
I don't
looking
even remember-
and smart, huh?
I don't even remember what we're talking about. So.
Well, we had called and we were, asking him, and he was kind of just like, I'm not taking offers. I get calls all the time, and I'm not interested. And
So it wasn't listed for sale?
it was for sale by owner. There was
okay.
just a
Like a
sign on
stake
the
in the
property.
road or
Mhm.
something like that. Yeah.
And he called me one day. We were back at work, and he was like, "Do you want it or not?" Like, the guy is not negotiating. I was like, "I do," but I was also really scared because I was asking for like a lot of money for my business endeavor, and
The guy's son used to be a judge and very crafty. Let's put it that
crafty
way.
is a great word. And so I think he got confused about who was supposed to meet him there to sign the purchase agreement. And you, Mr. Uber Punctual, got there early before whoever he was supposed to meet with a purchase agreement in hand. And
Nice.
it got signed.
And that was it. All
Get her
she wrote.
done.
Yep,
So was he was expecting someone else to show up?
seemed like it.
Really?
Presumably.
Interesting.
Yep.
And then did y'all start building right away? Or was that part of the process?
Oh
or-
yeah, I forgot about that part. No. Yeah.
Oh, enlighten us, please.
Well, she had a builder she really liked, and
Highly recommended by a long-term client who I usually see eye to eye with, and
very
financially
nice
smart,
gentleman.
And yeah, he did a great job for her.
Yes, and he did a terrible job for us.
So y'all gave him the job and he started building or finished building or what? They have to be fired mid-job.
Beginning
It
job.
was
Oh,
dirt.
beginning job.
It was still dirt work. It was still, he hadn't really done a whole lot. His daughter had some health challenges, again, COVID. So he was doing a lot of driving for her. His wife also had some health challenges. He was driving a lot for her. And just in his business, he was just spread too thin. Great man of the Lord, pastors a small church. And that gave me a lot of peace that I would be working with someone like that. But ultimately, I cried. I've never had to let anyone go ever. And I was like, I'm so sorry, but this isn't working. Like, we got to get the ball rolling. And
We could see it never get built that way.
Yeah.
Was the main thing.
Were things just dragging on? Because, I mean, if y'all were just dirt work, I mean, there
Yeah.
wasn't even a lot that had been done already.
And it was months.
And mind you, we're trying to build while construction prices are skyrocketing too.
Yes.
And climbing the whole time.
Mm-hmm. That's when we built our house too.
Yep.
Yes.
We share that
technically
pain.
right before. We
September of 2020. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we're building that summer, so yeah.
Mhm.
Was that about the same time y'all were building the?
Yes.
We kicked off with the second builder in early 21.
Maybe. Don't know.
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't do dates well.
Yeah.
I think so.
Gotcha. All right. So then what else happened? I mean, what y'all said, hey, this was a challenging season.
What was it that made you think this is of the Lord versus this is the enemy, like shutting a door? Because I know sometimes that's hard too. Like you're running into obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. Like, I thought this is what we were supposed to be doing. Like, do we keep pressing and keep getting rejected, or do we?
I think being of the Lord came in the beginning, and then obstacles came the rest of the way, which you know is going to happen anytime you're on the right path. The enemy's going to try to knock you off. That's
So we had done something that's not really considered generally wise, but we felt good about it. We lent money to family, and that was totally fine. But the afternoon that he signed the purchase agreement, we were called and told we were getting a wire to get the money back. And that was not expected at all in that like season at all. And so, we didn't want to go into debt to buy the property. And I was like, okay, I think we can like have $20 in our checking account if we don't, like, I think we can still do it. It was like a huge, oh my gosh, are we really going to do this? And just faith. It was such a strong feeling that God put on me that we did it. And then it was almost like confirmation that we didn't have to cut it close, that everything was just so smooth. And then the obstacles came when we got to the second builder, really. It was pretty hellacious.
Mm-hmm.
you're up. It does.
That's actually whenever you and I connected. in the middle of the build, we were in the small group. Find your people.
Find your people.
And I
Wow,
found my
here we
people.
are.
Found my
We found
person.
our people, babe.
Yep.
But yes, and I remember you would come in and you were just like on the verge of tears because it was such an exciting time and you felt like it was a promise from the Lord, but you were running into so many obstacles and you were like, I just need prayer. I need to know how to handle this like appropriately, all the things. And I didn't even know that I was walking through that season with you until afterwards, through conversation, like, wow, that's when we met. And it's amazing how the Lord puts people in your life. And we were in a little group, like it literally was called Find Your People. And I found my people in that group.
Even that was a God thing.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in church, small group expo day, and like, I was like, God, I want to join a group. None of this is jumping out at me. And like, Find Your People is jumping off the page. And at the time, like, I felt like I had my people. I had people for that season.
Mm-hmm.
And what I didn't know that God knew was they weren't going to be in the next season. And Bethany was. And so I went just like obediently, like, I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here. And
Yeah.
hugely supportive friend came out of that season.
So sweet.
That's awesome. So how long did it take y'all to build?
Just over a year. We started in a January and we finished the following February, March-ish.
Was there ever a time where y'all like, hey, this isn't going to work? Or did y'all say, hey, these are just obstacles and we got to get through it?
There were plenty of them.
Okay. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Ding, ding.
So me being busier than ever, I'm gone. I can't even think of how much at this point, but I'm gone months at a time.
Okay.
And
With work.
yes,
Mm.
and trying to battle with the contractor while I'm offshore running jobs and just throwing money at it because I just want it to end.
Right.
It's
So a little bit of context. I have a client who has like multiple degrees and can, I think, pretty accurately say by what I'm telling her my experiences are, you're dealing with a sexist and a narcissist, and
Really?
you're not going to win by being nice, and you're not going to win by being mean. You need to just go through as quickly as possible and just come to an end with the relationship there. Finish the contract, move on with your life. You're not going to win, and you're a woman, and you're really not going to win.
Wow. So it was like that.
So it was like that.
it came
And
to
this is all while Bear is
Gone.
yes.
And
Offshore.
in
can't.
another country, not another country, another state, could have been another country at
The
that
Gulf
point.
of Mexico.
Yes,
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. So primarily at one point, I think the build actually came to a standstill,
It did for a solid month.
and I came home in the middle of it.
He just wanted to protect me and fix it and be there. And
Mhm.
But anyway, we got it back on track. I show up at the builder's house probably 5 a.m. because I know he's there because he's not taking our calls at this point.
he had blocked my number.
Wow.
In
He
the
was
middle of the build.
He was communicating by email only.
Yeah, and trying to manipulate emails because that's what's referenced in court where this is heading at this point.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't know it was that deep.
I couldn't even contact him to pay him on time. We wound up having to exchange payments through our bank, like us bring money to the bank and him pick it up from the bank because he just wouldn't communicate.
Wow.
So basically what the salon is a custom home
Mhm.
Beautiful.
made in a way to do hair in. And I think he thought he was just going to do a quick beauty shop. And it was going to be very builder grade and very hands off with a dumb little girl. And what he didn't know is I've had a passion for home design almost my whole life. I made my own floor plans. I made my own site plan. I found an architect to bring that to life with something that they could work from. And I wanted to be very much a part of it. I had a picture of every single thing that I wanted that I knew was different than builder grade. I was so prepared to execute a smooth construction process. And I wanted to have a great relationship with all of the subcontractors and hopefully communicate with skilled people like to work together to make an amazing end product.
Right.
And I will say that we got an amazing end product, but it was not smooth because sort of the middleman was the obstacle. And unfortunately, you cannot self-contract a commercial building. Not that I could have hired the group of people we got, but he did supply amazing subcontractors, and I just showed up every day. And he'd also had an interesting sentence in his contract, which was, do not talk to the subcontractors. And
yeah.
I asked about that before we
Red
signed
flag.
it. I said, like, I can't say hello, how are you, good morning, good afternoon, thank you, it came out great. Like, I can't say anything to them. And he was like, well, I mean, sort of dismissive, but like, if you must.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you've known me before today, like, I'm not gonna not talk to someone
Right.
like in any sort of relationship with me. Like, so when he blocked me, I took that as permission to talk to them, because if you're not gonna talk to me, well, I need to talk to someone. I need to communicate with someone about what I want. And so I just started doing exactly what he didn't want. And that ended up making it come out the way that we wanted. But unfortunately, with a lot of friction in the process.
Yeah. How did it get to that point where he wasn't even willing to communicate at all?
Well, one of the first times I met with him on site was after, so it's a raised building, after they had done the subfloor. And he had a question, and I said, okay, well, and I had told him in the beginning too, I'm off at 2:30 every day. I work 30 minutes from the job site. Like, I can be here at 3 every day, which is typical end of day for construction. And so I thought, oh, this will be perfect. We can talk about what's coming up. I can have my pictures and all my things prepared. He was not interested at meeting at the job site at the end of the day, any day. It was a huge problem, and he made that known. And so he did it one day in the very beginning, and we stood there. And he said this phrase, he said, I'm not doing this design on the fly stuff. And I said, well, it's not design on the fly. Like, it's all very well planned out, but you didn't want to see the pictures at the initial meeting. You didn't want to see the pictures here. When do you want me to give you the information to further explain the details of what I'm wanting? And there was never an answer to that question. It was always just like, basically like, little girl, we're not doing that.
He just wanted to build it how he wanted to build
He just wanted to say, y'all go in and do what y'all always do.
it.
We made a bad decision and we signed a contract. And at this point, we're just trying to get through it. You know, it's cut your losses, have a building half done, start over, grind it out, finish it, you know.
So basically it got to that point because I wasn't going to give in. And every time I would call him, and it's sad because my husband's offshore. He's working probably 14 plus hours a day. And the little bit of time he gets to call and be on the phone together, I'm telling him the problem of the day. And he's just there supporting me, saying, babe, do what you want. Make it what you want. Like, he was so supportive. And of course, every phone call involves more money, and letting this man just totally take advantage of the situation.
By this time, it's starting to strain our relationship too, you know. It's a lot of pressure on us.
Kind of goes back to what you said earlier too, though, knowing that it was a promise from the Lord. You know, you're going to expect those setbacks and those.
But we didn't expect it.
No, I know. You can. It's almost like you can never truly prepare, because I feel like if you know what would be to come, it would be almost too scary or too intimidating that you would back down on the promise that God had for you. But all of those setbacks and pushbacks and, you know, frustrating moments where y'all kept going and kept pushing in, and now you're seeing the fruit of like the ministry that's coming out of that build. Like, every time, you know, you're in your salon, and it is absolutely beautiful. It is
That's amazing.
gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's like a Magnolia magazine cover, but it's not just beautiful. It's a place of like ministry, and like Holy Spirit is in that building. And I know it's because of y'all obedience and y'all pushing through. But yeah, that just shows that the magnificent call and the calling that was behind it all, like y'all, yes, because all the people who are sitting in that chair that you're encouraging, and you're just a listening ear and, you know, a wise word. And
The interesting part of what you're saying is I didn't really know that was going to be happening. It was more like So I think I had undiagnosed ADHD, and functioning in the Lafayette salon I was working at, it was just so overstimulating and so much. I just wanted out. And there was some, interpersonal friction when you have that many people together, that's going to happen. I just wanted out. And the focus for me was on God giving me like this peaceful place for me and my clients. And that was it. And your co-leader that semester of Find Your People, she came. She was the first friend, the first person outside of my very close family to see it. And it wasn't furnished, but it was basically complete as far as the bill goes. She opened the front door and she couldn't even get in far enough to close the door. And it was almost like her breath was caught. And she said, ministry is going to happen in this place. And it was almost like, a weight, but not in a bad way, like a duty to carry out. Like almost like she was kind of working of the Lord saying like, this is what God wants you to do here. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can, that's heavy. Like that's a responsibility. Like I just thought I was coming to do some hair in a happy place, but God has delivered that too. Like just allowing me to not be overstimulated. I can be calm and I'm not stressed and I'm not worried about anything and I can listen well, and all the things that I've learned over the years from the Bible and from, walking with the Lord. It's like God has the perfect thing for that person at that time, and I'm that vessel, right? Like it's like in our freedom retreats. It's just the conduit. Whatever he wants.
And it was never really designed as a moneymaker. It's a place for her to work, really, and that's all it's ever been. Sometimes I encourage her, a little bit, get a little pushback, but it's always been just a place for her to work, and that's what it's ultimately come from.
It's like a safe haven. You walk into there, and it's so peaceful.
And so coming out of that season, I could tell, that impacted you a lot. There's obviously a lot that you wanted to do, protecting your woman, watching out for your wife, that, being offshore probably kept you from doing all that you wanted to do. What did y'all learn through that season? What was God doing in you through y'all? Because, we understand, like you said, moments that bring strain within a relationship can also bear strength down the road through those things, because through it all, we bond and get closer and learn some things.
If we choose.
Yeah, if you choose, that's right.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear some of what God was doing through y'all, in y'all, and y'all's relationship.
At that time,
and on the other side of it.
I'd say the other side of it has brought us closer ultimately, because the struggles, you do get closer when you go through struggles, and you go through them together. You know, it's always a battle, but if you're fighting it together, it's better in the long run.
I'll say too that I've always been pretty independent, and I think I really learned in that season that I need him, and that was probably a prideful thing that I always was like, no, I'm blessed and I want him, and I'm happy that he's my husband and we're married, but I don't need,
He needs me.
I need him. I do.
I love it.
But it was almost like it's crazy it took that long and to go through that, but just like a resting in that, like God put him here, and I'm his helpmate, but like it's so peaceful there, like to just be like, yep, got me. I don't know that I ever felt so loved by you either, except through all that. Like every time I was like, babe, it's just getting to be so much money, so much stress, so much pressure. It's so much. And he's like, every single time without fail, do it the way you want it. Do it the way you want it. Do it the way you want it.
That's awesome. What was going on inside of you to just be that voice for her?
Just knowing how particular she is, and making sure that she has it the way she wants it, because we've already fought this hard. So
bring it over the finish line. Don't cut corners. No need to settle.
Why stop now?
If we're in this war, we're going to win it. Huh? Let's go.
Yeah.
I love it. So that was a few years ago. You've had, plenty of time in there doing
2
ministry,
years.
doing amazing things. I know Bethany loves going, and you do a phenomenal job.
It's my kids that actually got me to your salon, because Evie, she's like, I want Miss Tiff to do, and one of Dustin, our really good friends, like a couple, was doing my hair before, and he was doing Dustin. He still does
Yep.
Dustin's hair and Asher's sometimes. And
Depends what mood Asher's
depends
in.
on what mood Asher's in. We let him pick. And
cute.
Evie was like, I want to go. Yes, Evie was like, I want Miss Tiff to cut my hair. So I was like, okay. I was like, yay, I get to hang out with Miss Tiff. And then Asher was ready for like a big boy haircut, ready to chop the curls. And he was
He
like,
said,
I want to go
look
to
like
Miss.
Dad.
Yes.
Oh, really?
He was like,
Yeah.
I want to go to Miss Tiff too. And I was like, okay, you pick. And it's true. He's like, I want to look like Dad. So Tiff gave him his first big boy haircut. And yes, we look forward to every appointment.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, go ahead.
I was going to say that if we're going to talk about all this anyway, the divine part really didn't come till the end, and we really haven't touched on that.
Okay.
So we get through the process. We're at the very end. We pay as we go, as far
Okay.
as the builder
Yeah.
goes. So we have a construction loan at this point, variable interest rate,
Yep.
mind you. We're at the very end of it. He pulls the permits, closes the permits, never does the final inspection, so it can never be released to us. Tells all his subs never to talk to us. So we're ultimately left with pretty much a fully funded building
No,
that we
Funded?
can't use. Yeah.
finished too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yep.
sorry,
90% finished. I would
Yeah.
say.
we had to
Yep.
insulate the attic.
Build out your bathroom, a few
Yeah.
things. And he walked away from it.
Wow.
Just
Just like I'm gonna stick it
Just
to you.
to, so we were left
I'm gonna
with,
just make this real hard for y'all.
wow.
and no one wants to come in at the end and
Because you
They're
don't
so-
know what's
They look,
Exactly.
they're like
behind
it's
the
super
walls.
fishy. What's wrong?
That's
Do y'all
right.
not
Exactly.
pay? Is probably the first thing most contractors think.
Yeah.
Good
So-
luck, guys.
Mhm.
Have fun with
And
this
because you can't pull the permits
yourself,
yourself.
because it's commercial.
Yes.
because it's
I
commercial.
can't even schedule a final inspection.
So then what did y'all do?
You're gonna make me cry.
You can tell them.
I love it.
Well, fortunately, this wasn't our first thing we've done, building or
Right.
doing or whatever. We've worked with some really great people, and we've had some really great relationships with people. And the Lord created me to love people and have good relationships with people. And so through just experience of doing hair, and I mean, we pulled every string we knew, every person we knew contractors, we knew plumbers, we knew electricians, and we found people who they were busy. Some of them couldn't help. Some of them were like, well, this is sticky because we know this person and they work with that person and they'll never get work again.
Yeah.
But they helped us find a different person. And so
Ultimately, our
A re-
neighbor's a retired commercial
retired-
contractor who just happened to still have his license and happened to still have his insurance and
Wow.
And-
everything divine.
And he didn't even really, I would say, understand what was going on, but he knew our character enough to trust and just say, like, y'all just fill out whatever paperwork and I'm here for you.
Wow. That's awesome.
He went with us to the inspection office to talk to the man in charge and just be like, hey, here's the whole situation. And I'm here to be here for these people, but it's really their project, you know, and
But he was just there for you.
just there for us.
God orchestrated that relationship, the neighbor, to be there when this guy was just trying to, put y'all in a bind y'all couldn't get out of.
And that's not the first time that neighbor had kind of seen something in us. He saw something in James and gave him another deal and really helped him out years before that. He has a propensity to be kind to us.
That's awesome. That's the
Yeah.
favor of the Lord upon you guys in that manner, and God just working it out so y'all could pull the permit and get it over the finish line.
Yep. And it's been downhill ever since. It's been great. So
Yeah.
no issues since then.
But what a war and a battle to
Oh
go
my
through,
gosh.
huh?
And his parents are like, I would say, our spiritual covering, mine for sure. And with him being gone so much, she probably had an hour every night of just listening to me let it out and just say, why is he so horrible? And, what are we going to do? And every single conversation, she didn't have answers, but she would just reassure us, this is the enemy, press in,
Just
the Lord
listening.
provided, just keep going.
That's amazing.
We're praying for y'all. We're praying for your marriage.
Lost my job at the end of it too.
Okay.
The cherry
Yeah.
on top.
The
He's
cherry
like,
on top.
hire whoever. I'll help you with
Yep.
fund it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. And then, yeah.
Like Were you at least past the permit part when you lost your
No.
job? Oh, my
This was like a few
goodness.
months before we finished.
Oh my goodness.
This was the fall before.
Yeah.
He calls me one day. He's like, I'm coming home. And I'm like, oh, the job ended soon? Not exactly.
For me, huh?
For me, it did.
Yeah. I wasn't at the best place, and we were at an impasse, and it just, it wasn't the right time. But sometimes it's.
Yeah.
But looking back, so at that point, I got to navigate the final
You needed to
issues
be
here,
home.
be there, get everything on track, move her in.
God's timing.
Yes. I had been buying, gigantic mirrors and chairs and things I can't move by myself and storing them in our garage. Anytime they go on sale, I'm like, well, I've been tracking it. I'd buy it on sale. He was home. We rented a U-Haul. We were sitting there going, what would we do if you weren't home right now? Like, how would I have ever paid the man if he hadn't come home?
Yeah. Well, let me back up a little bit. When you lost your job, like, what was going through your mind? Knowing that the project's
what the
going
heck?
on, like, you got like what before you made that phone call to Tiffany? Like, what were you? What?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing like terrible or
Yeah.
bad, because we've always been pretty smart with money. I think not crazy with it, and lived well within our means, and God's always provided, and I've always had His favor in my projects and working, and it's never been an issue. So even with that, at that point, it was a lot, but it was also coming up in the industry I've come up in. It's very feast or famine, and I've always been taken care of. God's always taken care of us. So
you're in that season, you're just able to lean in.
it's something I've been
God to
training
trust
for.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at that point. Yep.
I
There
love
was
that.
a little bit of a hard spell for you afterward when things didn't pick up right away.
Yeah, but it was
And that was
still,
hard.
Yeah, but
It was hard for me to watch you go through that. I didn't know. I mean, sometimes it would just be so heavy. I'd want to get in the car and go for a drive just to get out of the house. And he'd be like, where are you going? Don't leave. And I'm like, well, you're not happy with me here. I figure I might just evade for a minute. And he's like, no, stay. And I'm like, okay. Definitely, that was hard for me to watch you go through that and not know when it was going to end, not know when he was going to be back to his normal self.
we went through that in the beginning of our marriage too, though.
Yeah, we did.
Was
But
that
it-
like
it wasn't the
searching for a
same.
job? Was that like when you were trying to find work, or I mean,
I don't
Oh.
think so. I don't know.
You
Probably the
had-
right work is the thing.
It
Is
was
the right
just-
work is.
Slow.
And I was, so you have to imagine, in my industry, I was coming off of a very sought after position.
Mhm.
Very hard to come by, and not very many people had it. And so then I had to go down and look a little bit, and humbling, but
Mhm.
every step is. But every time God moves you down, He'll move you back up.
Mm-hmm.
Because you underwater welding or something
Commercial
amazing
diving,
like
that's
that.
what it was,
Yeah.
But now I've moved into just full filtration services. So
Yeah.
something totally different. But
Mm-hmm.
but I used to, think of myself as the provider, and as soon as we got married, I don't think I worked for 8 months straight.
Hmm.
And I never had that.
Yeah.
So
I remember coming home just happy. Like, I'm like, I can pay the bills. It's fine. Like, I make enough to cover it. Like, we don't have to have an extravagant life. It's fine. I'm just happy I'm married. And he's like, I don't deserve this. I don't understand why God's doing this to me. Because who's the provider?
God.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. That's literally the conversation
Yeah.
that
That's
we
right.
had. Was it yesterday? Day before?
Or day before.
Day before yesterday, but
Yeah. Because we
Yeah.
came, I mean, if you fast forward, aside from the, conversation we've been having the last couple of days, if you go back to 2015 for us, God was calling us out of a season where we were making really good money for, 25-year-olds. We were,
he
Not-
was
I was in middle
quote, unquote,
management, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
climbing like
Yeah.
a corporate ladder.
That's
in a
right.
sense.
On the path for, towards executive leadership in a few years. And we were married 2 years at that point, but she was in PT school. And so we were, paying as we went. And God called us into a season of moving to a job that was commission only.
Oof.
And it was
That
a
didn't
partnership. It was
exist.
entrepreneurial. And I mean, we took 6 months. That was a 6-month period of us, praying, seeking God's face, seeking wise counsel. And there were like 10,000 reasons why we shouldn't do it. But we knew God told us to do it. And
Yep.
so we did.
Including, people that we trust and
Yeah.
we honor and we respect.
That's
Even
right.
they, and and they hear from the Lord, but even they were like, "Is this wise? Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, are you
Yeah.
hearing from the Lord?" And which would also like I got like, oh God, like, are we making the right decision?
For sure.
But there was the church that we went to at that time. We were talking before service about how I just feel like, you know, we need to get out of the boat. It's like we're in that comfort place and the Lord is calling, just like he talked to his disciples, like, come out of the boat, come into that unknown with me, though he's out of the boat. And that Sunday, we're at church and the pastor wasn't even talking about that. That wasn't even his main message, but he went off on a tangent and said, kind of like when Jesus told Peter, step out of the boat. It's time for you to like take that step of faith and step out of the boat. We looked at each other and was like,
that's right.
oh my God.
Yeah. And then now
But that was peace.
yeah, there was. It was scary, but we can look back on that season and know that God worked so much in, I know, my heart, but financially it was horrible. I mean, we lost everything but the house. I mean,
And that's a miracle.
sold. I mean, I had stock options. I mean, just all kinds of stuff that we had to sell to survive for the next 2 years is what that season was, a 2 year
While
season.
I'm in PT school
While
and we're
she's in PT
paying
school.
tuition. So,
Which we ended up having to take a loan, you know, that kind of stuff.
but the grace of God was still there the entire time. Like people would say, hey, go to Walmart. I have a pickup order for you.
Yeah.
And there would be cleaning supplies, like frozen food, you know, pantry food, all the things. And we love to eat out. But it was something we just had to give up.
Couldn't do.
Couldn't do. And almost every Sunday, a family, and we did not tell people about our issues because we didn't want pity parties or, you know, we're like, the Lord will provide.
Yeah.
And almost every Sunday, someone would say, hey, like, y'all want to come eat out with us? And we're like, no, it's like our treat. Are you sure? Like, yes, like we're not taking no.
Yeah.
We're like, okay. And like we're some poor broke people eating out at nice restaurants every weekend.
That's right.
And it was just like the Lord, like, I got you.
Yeah.
I know your heart, even though you can't afford anything right now, barely even your bills.
That's right.
That verse is just blaring in my head. Like, I clothe the birds and the flowers, and how much more will, like,
I clothe
I'm not
you and care
doing
for
that
you.
right. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
just like God's like, I give good gifts to my children.
right.
Like, it's a gift.
And I remember in that
it's not
season,
a need.
No,
but
it's a
He
gift.
loves us.
there were 2 instances in that season where, you know, we had barely any money in our checking account, and we would be at now at this point we're commission only. So like, you know, I'm getting paid next week. There wasn't any of that where God told us to write a check for the last bit that was in our account 2 separate times.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, at that point it was comical. So like, okay, yep, Lord, here you go. You know, I mean, it's whatever, $32. There's nothing we can do about it anyway. I think one time it was like 167, whatever. It's like, okay, here you go. We'll be obedient.
Yeah.
And, you know, every step of the way he provided. But what's interesting, you know, because you said that happened at the beginning and then it happened again after that season, is whenever it almost seems like you go back, God brings you around a mountain, you know, 5 years, 10 years later, whatever the number is. For us, it's 10 years later that you get in a similar situation. And it can still be scary, you know, still
Like,
be unknown. Like, Lord, I trust you. And I told her this week, I said, babe, I feel like the guy that brought his child for God to deliver, or Jesus to deliver him. And he's like, do you believe? And the man answers, Lord, I believe. Help my unbelief.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, that's what it feels like sometimes. And, you know, like, Lord, I remember that past season, but it's still scary this season. You know?
Sometimes you need a refresher, and I don't like it. I don't like being a refresher. I like to think I remember. But.
Yeah, but if it doesn't get more real, then he went to, was it in Alexandria or Lake Charles?
Oh,
Where you went to-
Sulphur.
Sulphur.
Yeah, Thursday.
One of them places. But the first time he ever went to one of these,
Yeah, it's called
business-
Industry of Faith. It's a lunch that you just kind of people in the marketplace come together, and a guy who runs the Industry of Faith Ministries, he gives a message once a month. They do it in Lafayette every month, but I found out they also do it in Sulphur and Beaumont and Baton Rouge area. And I have prospects for work in Sulphur, so I was like, well, let me go meet some Christian men and women that are in the marketplace going after God. And so I went for the first time last Thursday, and the guy preached on Peter getting out of the boat and walking on water.
And
I'm
that's
like,
the
I
exact.
sent her a screenshot of it, and she was like, oh, that's so exciting. I said, this is scary. Scary. What? Yes, and yes.
Yes. But we're in a similar situation. Like, do we leave this comfort place of this job to take something else that seems, I mean, it's nothing really.
Yeah,
You
and it
know
might
what I
not
mean?
even be our choice.
It might not be our choice,
We're
but
just seeking God.
yes. So, but just the fact that the exact
Yeah.
scripture was like, I've got you, I hear you, I trust you, I've carried you then, I will carry you now. Just trust me, step out of the boat,
Yeah, she's talking to me, by the way.
step out of the boat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so I feel you on that.
Mhm.
The growth is always uncomfortable. That's the way it is, always. With anything, it's always uncomfortable, but it's always necessary.
That's right.
So much good comes out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. I don't want it to come that way.
No.
It does.
You saying that makes me think when we lived in Texas, my husband, the master of ideas and side hustles and
That's a
stuff.
good one to have. That's a good thing to have.
Sometimes, maybe, debatable.
We one of them was a t-shirt business, but it was great. But it was, the name of the t-shirt company was Broken.
Oh,
And kind of like we were all like broken vessels, you know what I mean? But the idea of the business was workout attire, and it was just like one word, like bold, persevere, pure, loved, whatever, across the front. And then the back was like a spine scripture reference to support.
We were
that.
doing the spinal prints before they were cool.
This
I'm
is
just
true.
saying.
This is true. We should have copyrighted it. But the whole idea about the broken was it's tough. It's hard. Like your muscles, they have to be broken
yeah.
to be able to be rebuilt.
Yep.
And we don't like the process. It doesn't feel good, but we like the effects afterwards.
That's
But
right.
And it's to remember in that season, you know, that, hey, last time I was going through this, I didn't enjoy it, but got to lean in because look what's on the other side. You know, God, he sees the bigger
his
picture.
promises are yes and amen.
Yeah. So anyhow, anything else y'all want to add on that season?
That was a lot of it.
That
So glad that part's over.
hey,
And now I don't mind a lot because it's small and I have to mow it. So
so now you're appreciative. Huh?
He chooses to mow it.
Nice.
I
nice.
mowed it happily while he was
Ah.
away.
You weed eat it also, or
No,
That's
we
the issue.
hired a retired man to weed eat.
okay?
And that was also nice that we got to help employ him,
Yeah,
a sweet man from church.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, weed eating's the
Not fun.
worst part.
it's
Yeah, she
tough.
was like,
I don't know.
She was like, hey, I'll jump on the mower at the house. I'm like, well that's actually kind of the relaxing
Yeah.
part. So
I was like, you eat,
Yeah.
I'll mow. We'll cut the time in half. Like,
Yeah.
appreciate it, but you know, it's kind of nice just to
That's what I
mow.
said too. No.
That's right. Well, then I guess we're ready to move on to the ABCs of the elevation room. So, A is, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Compound interest is real.
I love it. So practical. The man is smart. The man is smart. What about you, Tiff?
I would say, I feel like this is cliche, but I really mean it. Stop worrying about what everybody else thinks.
Hmm.
Just do what you know you were created to do. I really feel like right now, everything that I do is what little kid Tiffany enjoyed doing.
Oh, wow.
And it's a mature correlation, of course, but it's so fulfilling. And everything in between was just a big mess.
Mm.
Just a big mess. Trying to compare and will they and whatever. Like, just really stop caring what everyone.
That
That's
usually
good.
happens later in life, though, I think, right? People stop caring as much.
I think so. It's yeah.
Yeah, if you
I
listen
think
to
it's
the
natural to
70 and
get-
80-year-olds
yeah.
at the coffee shop, they don't
Nope.
care
care.
Nope.
at all. No
No.
filter.
do what you want to do, wear what you want to wear.
Hmm.
You do you.
Yeah, and it's again, people say it. It's all cliche. You know, you attract people who are like you, and that's
Mhm.
comfortable and nice and wonderful.
Yeah.
I would say it's easy to make friends when you're younger. I had a lot of friends. It didn't matter, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something that I found that I always knew a lot of people, but wasn't really good at maintaining friendships, you
Yep.
know, until I tried to be more intentional about it maybe
Takes
a few
work
years
and time.
ago.
Mm.
But yeah, I would just kind of go with the flow, and the next thing you know, it's like,
Wait,
wait,
a minute.
I don't have any friends. Like, what's going on?
Mm.
Yeah, definitely a big part of being intentional about life and who you want to surround yourself with.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mhm. So the B is books that have made the greatest impact.
Books that made the greatest impact.
Go first.
Go ahead.
The 5 love languages for marriage, for friends, look for them in kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have kids, but there's a lot of kids in my life I love a lot. And I think I try to hone in on what their love language is. And that proves to be good relationship building material. And then good old Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
Anything but Dave Ramsey, that's been beneficial for us.
Yes, it has been very beneficial.
That's awesome.
Even though the after part isn't very clear, but
Yeah, he should give more instruction on when you get to the 7th step. Like
Nice.
what to do then.
Yeah. He's got a whole lot of books out there now. He just keeps
Yeah.
turning them out.
yeah, I quit reading them. But,
Yeah. There you go.
It's a fantastic
it really
foundation
is.
for your
It's
finances.
just the concept.
Yeah.
If you want to take strain out of things, then the right thing with money.
There you go.
Especially-
Yep.
There you go. It's one big chip off the table for sure.
is, it is.
Mhm. So, what are y'all's love languages?
Yours is acts of service.
Okay. And
Steady,
your-
constantly.
yours is ever changing,
Well, I have found
Interesting.
but normally it's
quality time maintains the main one. And
touch.
when I take the quiz, there's usually a close second, and it's whatever I'm deficient in.
Ah, okay.
So it
That makes
changes.
sense.
I got a full-time job right there.
I'm pretty clear about letting you know what it is.
Well, that's good. At least you don't keep it bottled up.
No.
No,
Did y'all go through the book together, or did y'all just kind of one of y'all do it and then share it with the other?
I read it, and
What's
then
that,
we
the
both did
Ramsey?
the quiz, the 5
oh,
love
5
languages.
language. I've read it as well. Yep,
Mhm.
I have. Maybe more than once.
I didn't know that.
That's
Learn
impressive.
you
something
do.
new.
I have not. I depend on him to tell me.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does not read, so I have to
I'm working on it.
translate whatever. I'm like, babe, this is really good. You should read this. And
Oh,
she was
you
like, just
got
give me
the
the cliff
highlights.
notes.
Audiobooks.
Built-in
Yep.
cliff
Audiobooks.
notes.
I'm getting better at audiobooks.
Yep.
My really good friend, she recently published like books. Like she's has 2 devotionals. Plug for Carrie Riva De Niro.
There you go.
But she has 2 devotionals, and she has a book prior to that. And I am working my way through. Like I'm going to
Good.
do it, and I'm waiting for her to. One of them is on audio,
Yeah.
but the others I'm waiting. But
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm not a quick processor. So I'm a slow reader, and then I'm also kind of ADD. So I'm like, what did I just read? Because then my brain goes here.
Yep.
And it's not necessarily relaxing for me.
Yep.
And I need to read my Bible. And so
That's your capacity.
that is my capacity.
Yep.
And
Hey. Praise the Lord.
I'm working. We're all a work in progress.
That's right.
That's right.
So I
love
have
it.
not read the 5 love languages, but
Yeah. But mine's pretty clear. And so is yours. Well, acts of service, maybe quality
time.
Yep. And then physical touch for me and words of affirmation.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep. So, and it was good for like when I read it because it allowed me to put words to
Yeah.
some of the feelings and, maybe some of the things we hadn't been able to really talk clearly with one another about
Mhm.
because just couldn't really put words to it other than like, your words hurt, cry me a river, like. gave
It's
us
always
some-
good when you have some perspective. to
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm.
I would also like to say having a great pastor is so valuable as a newlywed because when we were newlyweds, we had an amazing pastor who spoke only on Wednesday nights, and the topic was always family and marriage.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so a lot of the
Wow.
books that I read in the beginning, I almost want to say foolproofed. I don't think that's totally applicable, but we got
Yeah.
off to another great start, just like we did with Money with Dave Ramsey from books that Pastor
They
David
suggested.
Boda would recommend on Wednesday nights.
That's awesome.
I think most of that just relates to putting effort into what you're doing,
Mhm.
regardless of what it is.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. What you put time and effort into will grow.
Yep. Very good point.
Mm-hmm.
So then the last C is cherished family traditions.
Why does everyone always look at me?
What?
For me, I think it's probably she doesn't know. I don't really have very many traditions, and I have a very small family. And I would say our game night, which is really kind of new. It started during COVID,
Yeah.
and it's just something that we do online. My family's probably 5 people, 6 people, maybe. I don't know. We lose them, and they don't get replenished.
Mm.
So, but we get together and do
So we're 8 people.
8
Your parents, and then you and your 2 siblings and the spouses.
All right. There you go.
Benjamin.
9 sometimes.
Okay. So,
Oh, it is growing.
Yeah.
How about that? How about that?
One nephew.
Yeah. So we do a game night, and we don't really play games anymore. We used to play Boggle
Okay.
online because I have family around the country, and so it's just nice. We get on once a month, and my mom kind of
Y'all do it through like a
Zoom.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Exactly.
Your mom kind of.
Spearheads it and make sure you're there. And
Gotta love
Hold
mom
you
for
accountable.
That.
yeah,
Gotta love mom for that.
His mom's mantra is all my babies in one place. And so Zoom once a month is a way that can
that's the
happen.
only way it can happen. Really.
That's sweet.
Oh, that's cool.
It was-
Intentional, you know.
Exactly.
It's kind of cool too because before COVID, we all live in different states. Well, now your mom's back in the same state as your sister, but at one point we were all in different states. And I think the only time we were all together was at Christmas. But then COVID Christmas, that didn't happen. And so while they're all family, they still are only really seeing each other about once a year, maybe twice. And then the spouses don't necessarily know each other that well. And I'll say in the beginning, the game was needed because there was not, I mean, conversation
Much to
wasn't
talk
free
about.
flowing.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, little bits of conversation would start and somebody started saying, okay, what was everyone's dumpster fire? What was everyone's special? So like the worst and the best thing that happened since we met last. Those things then created follow-up conversation. At some point, the game wasn't needed. And we just have,
We call it game night still.
we still call it game night.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
I love that. What about you?
I started this thing with the children in my life who I love. Some are my cousin's kids, some are my friends' kids. And for birthdays, instead of giving a gift, I give a date. And so the goal is to say yes to everything that they ask for. So far, none of them have asked for something I can't give them,
That's fun.
whether it's an experience or a gift.
Yeah.
And it started as day dates, and then they learned they could ask to sleep over.
Ah.
And so now they're
Stretch
getting
it out.
longer.
Yes, yes.
And that's really special. My cousin has 6 kids, and so the likelihood of any of them having one-on-one time with anyone is slim.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we just have a good time.
That's awesome.
I
A yes
cherish
day.
it. Yeah.
Anything else you want to ask or add before we head out? Awesome. Well, if anyone wants to reach out to y'all, connect with y'all, what's the best way to do so?
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Introvert, extrovert.
Yes.
The salon name is Le Coiffeur, so it's LE_coiffeur, Brobridge.
Okay, on
Instagram.
Instagram. Awesome. Well, I know I've enjoyed the conversation. Thank y'all for being a part. Babe, have you enjoyed it?
Yes.
Awesome.
Love my people.
That's right. Well, if y'all still with us, thank y'all for listening all the way through the end. Remember, in everything you do, to stay rooted in your purpose, living on purpose, and walking with purpose.